Joey and His Pet Tree by Tanya Bech. Illustration by Gemini. Joey would love to have a pet. He loves animals and wishes he could have a dog to play with, to take on walks, to sleep with, and to keep him company. But Joey lives in an apartment, and his mother told him dogs are not allowed. Summer is Joey's favorite time because he can play all day with his best friend Jack. Wherever Joey and Jack go, Jack's brown dog Brownie follows and plays with them. At the park, they pretend they have a fort that can only be entered by going down the slide. Brownie sits at the bottom and acts as a guard. Brownie likes best chasing after the ball Joey and Jack throw. At the end of summer, Joey was very sad because Jack and his family moved to another town and Brownie was no longer around for Joey to play with. The new school year started and Joey's teacher, Mr. Clark, asked the class to write how they spent their summer vacation. Joey wrote about all the things that he, Jack, and Brownie did. How they once pretended they were great baseball players. With Joey's camera, they even took a photo of Brownie holding a baseball in his mouth. After writing about his summer with Jack and Brownie, Joey missed Brownie even more. Noticing how sad Joey was, Mr. Clark said, "Would you feel better if you bring the photo of Brownie to school?" The next day, Joey shared the photo with his class, but he was still sad. Now more than ever, Joey wanted a dog of his very own to love. That afternoon when Joey came home from school, his mother also noticed how sad Joey was. She knew how much he missed Brownie and suggested they go to the Humane Society, a shelter for unwanted dogs and other animals. Because Joey so much wanted a pet, he could not believe a dog would not be wanted. Joey was now happy to think every weekend he could walk and play with a shelter dog and be a friend to a dog that had no one. Although Joey loved visiting the animal shelter, he became sad again when the dog he grew attached to was no longer there. That dog was adopted by a family that also very much wanted a pet. A kind elderly man, who also walked and played with the dogs at the animal shelter, told Joey, "These dogs are like orphans. They have no family to love them, but now your shelter dog has a real home." Joey's new classmate, Katie, said, "One of my cats had kittens. You can pick one to adopt." Joey was so happy because his mother said they were not allowed dogs, but never said anything about cats. Joey picked the most orange kitten because that was closest in color to brown and named the kitten Brownie just like his friend Jack's dog. When Joey excitedly told his mother, she sadly told him cats were also not allowed. Joey's eyes filled with tears. The next summer, while taking out the trash, Joey heard some noise by the garbage dumpster. He noticed a rabbit with an injured foot. Joey told his mother about the injured rabbit and asked if he could adopt it. He would name the rabbit Brownie. Joey's mother told him, "No animals of any kind are allowed in the apartment, not even rabbits." She was sad for Joey and wished they lived in a house where animals were allowed. She told Joey that one day he would make the best caregiver to a pet. The summer came and went, and Joey spent most of his days helping Katie find good homes for her kittens and playing with her two cats. He also still walked and played with the dogs at the animal shelter with his new friend, the elderly man. A few weeks after Christmas, Joey noticed a little potted evergreen tree with other discarded Christmas trees. Its tiny branches were brown from not enough water. This little tree needed a good home, and he knew his mother never said he could not have a pet tree. Joey, carrying the tree, ran upstairs to his apartment yelling excitedly, "Mommy! Mommy! Meet my new pet!" Joey's mother sighed. "You know we can't have any animals." Joey said, "No, Mom. Look, it's not an animal. It's a baby tree." Joey's mother smiled at Joey with his new pet and said, "We'll have to give your pet lots of love and care. Many of its branches are brown. Your little tree is sick, but I know you'll be its best friend, and soon it will have only green branches." After they watered the tree, Joey placed it in the family room because that is where he spent most of his time. At night, he asked his mother, "Can I take the tree into my room so I can sleep by my new pet?" She replied, "What a lovely idea." After Joey placed his new tree on his nightstand, he asked his mother, "If I didn't bring the little tree home, would it have gone to a tree shelter?" She gently said she had never heard of a shelter for unwanted trees, but maybe one day he would create such a place. She kissed him good night and asked, "Do you have a name for your new pet tree?" Joey smiled and said, "Brownie," just like the brown color of its tiny branches. His smile grew bigger as he turned to look at Brownie, his very first pet. As Joey grew bigger, so did Brownie. When Brownie outgrew the first little pot, Joey and his mother placed Brownie into a bigger pot. Joey's mother joked, "It seems whenever your feet need bigger shoes, Brownie needs a bigger pot." More seriously, she said, "You and Brownie have become wonderful friends, and all your love and care has helped Brownie flourish. Just as you're growing and becoming a wonderful man, Brownie is growing into a beautiful tree." When Joey became a man, he lived in his own house with his wife and daughter. They adopted a brown dog, named Brownie Jr., or BJ for short, from the same animal shelter where he once walked and played with the dogs. Joey had planted Brownie, the pet tree, in the backyard, and all of them, even BJ, enjoyed and loved the tree. The tree, green and healthy, became the home of several birds. Many times Joey told his daughter the story of how Brownie became his pet tree. One day the daughter, who was playing in the backyard, ran into the house yelling, "Daddy, Daddy, meet my new pet." Joey followed his little girl outside. She pointed and excitedly said, "Look, a baby tree. Can I care for this little tree the way you cared for Brownie?" Joey hugged his daughter and asked her the very same question his mother once asked him. "Do you have a name for your new pet tree?" His daughter smiled and said, "Greenie, just like the green color of its tiny branches. Love never leaves." The end.